Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Utamas Loki Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudev. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nara Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So yes, previously we talked about Maharaj Parikshit's question. He asked different questions, how the Lord create this universe through his energies. He also asked, how does Krishna maintain this universe and destroy it? Ano yung mga activities ni Krishna that are so wonderful and conceivable? And the others, of course, Sukadeva Goswami, and we know sa ating mga study in the Srimad Bhagavatam in different conversations, you would notice these topics in the Srimad Bhagavatam are being discussed by different personalities. In the Naimisaranya, the sages there, headed by Saunaka Rishi, talking to and inquiring from Suta Goswami, they're asking, what did Pariksit Maharaj ask Sukadev Goswami? And all of them, even even Bhishma, even the other personalities in Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam, before they answer any question, they always pay obeisances, have their invocation mantras, and pay all their respects to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam that we will study today is on that part. Let's read from the second canto, the Cosmic Manifestation, chapter 4, entitled The Process of Creation. So, because it was asked by Saunaka Rishi in behalf of the sages in Naimisaranya, they asked, how did Krishna created this material world? This is only a glimpse because the whole much more detailed description of the creation will be discussed in the 5th canto. So, nasa 2nd canto pa lang tayo. Text number, let's start sa text number, text number 10. Kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in the Vedic literatures and self-realized in transcendence, but are also great devotee of the Lord, and are therefore as good as the Personality of Godhead. So you can see the mood of students inquiring from a teacher. Always in the right mood, not challenging. We should always check our mood in inquiring. Yes, questions are signs of intelligence, but the mood will be the factor if the students are proud or the students are humble. And the more receptive and all humble a student asks, the more he will receive the knowledge. Of course, it will be an offense to offend the, it will be an offense to have a non, how do they call this? A rude manner in asking. So you can see even Arjuna is asking in a mood of humility. Um, Sauna Karishi, Maharaj Pariksit, all of them, all these personalities, they ask in humble mood. And even glorifying the teacher. Yung mga mood na sinasabi na yun, you have explained it mostly ganito. You have explained it very well. And you are also a good teacher, but may because of my inability or lack of intelligence, I wasn't able to understand it very well. Could you clarify this? Hindi challenging. So it was never like that. It should not. Um, it should not be like in a challenging mood. So it was also in the first canon of the Bhagavatam we studied that a challenging mood of questioning is also a of an offense. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said the supreme truth, absolute truth, Govinda, personality of Godhead, although one without a second, is infallibly expanded by innumerable forms, non different from one another. But he is also the original person. So this creation, actually, in much more detailed description, is made by Krishna, not directly, but made by his expansion of the expansion of the expansions. Si Krishna, hindi niya tinatrabaho personal yun. He can expand himself. He has his own devotees as well. So kung makikita nyo yung mga Purusha avatars, diniscuss natin yon. From Krishna, lumabas si, nag-expand siya as Balaram, and Balaram for the four, sila Sankarshan. Then dun lumabas yung mga three Vishnus, Karola Dakashay Vishnu, Chiro Dakashay Vishnu, sa Garbo Dakashay Vishnu. And from Garbo Dakashay Vishnu, dun lumabas si Lord Brahma. Then he created secondary creator siya. So he created the material world in per universe. So Krishna actually created all of this by his energy, but he is the original person. He is the original creator or cause of all causes. So yes, this kind of Purusha avatars or expansions, sabi dito, ni Srila Prabhupada, these are constant flowing of uncountable waves of a river. So hindi natin basta-basta malalaman and mabibilang. Just like nag-expand si Krishna ng as the super soul or Chirodakashay Vishnu. Ano yung number ng living entity na nakikita mo? Kaya si Krishna kasama yung mga yon as the super soul. So he expanded himself. So this one, even yung mga mundane learned scholars, philosophers or scientists, they would make a lot of efforts to understand this. They would make a lot of efforts, spend a lot of money and time to try to understand this or experiment on this, but they will never be able to. Human beings have limited senses, we have limited understanding, but according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, this kind of knowledge is easily understandable if one practices devotional service. That is also the one of the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita. Only by devotional service one could understand Krishna. Even one reads the Vedas, it will never a reason for one to be able to understand Krishna. Remember the impersonalists, the Mayavadis, the Karmakanda, the Ashtanga Yoga. Ideally, they also follow the Vedas. So lower class of it, they just speculate. And of course, much more lower, they don't follow any scriptures, or they live as an animal or animalistic life. So it will be discussed today how and what is the difference of the purpose of living as an animal and having this human body of life. So it is important to be engaged, always be engaged in Krishna conscious activities. A powerful devotee of the Lord is, by the grace of the Lord, more than the Lord Himself. So mas powerful daw yung mga devotees ni Lord Krishna than kay Krishna Himself. Just like Sukadev Goswami, a vastly learned devotee. Pero he's always powerful. Here some example was given. Si Shri Hanumanji. Hanuman is an unalloyed devotee of Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, an incarnation of Krishna, is actually powerful. He can actually defeat the enemy, si Ravana, and he could um, save Sita himself. Pero, yung spiritual life kasi is not getting the credit. Hindi ganun yung role natin. Hindi ganun yung culture or yung etiquette. We always try to give credit to others. The more we could be behind the scene, the better. But of course, if you were assigned na gawin yung isang bagay na ikaw yung frontliner, kailangan mong gawin. Pero you could spread the service, the credit to others. But you have to take the blame, the responsibility. It's a great leadership practice. And devotees, expansions of Krishna, even Krishna himself, is a great leader. Marami siyang pastime na ganito. So, worship of the devotee is considered more effective than direct worship of the Lord. Madbhakta puja vyadika. So, worship of the devotee, serving of the servant of the servant of the servant. We serve them, we worship them. Si Krishna mas may pleased doon. Again, this is not demigod worship. If one worships and pleases, serves the spiritual master, that is the best. Krishna will be pleased. So there's an offense also in the holy name of the Lord. And one of it is to consider the spiritual master as an ordinary person. We might have a vision of him having a body, minsan nagkakasakit and all. But he is not an ordinary person. Even the body is also spiritualized because 100% they are performing spiritual activities or serving Krishna. So there was a question, lahat ba ng spiritual master are pure devotees? We could not say. We could not say, but they are on the path. We are on the path of devotional services if we are following the parampara, spiritual master in the line of our Acharya Srila Prabhupada. But also, it doesn't matter if one is following this guru and yung guru niya is others, yung isang devotee, ito yung guru niya. Guru is one, as long as one is in the parampara. And our Adi Guru, Balaram, Baladev, siya yung Adi Guru, siya yung original guru. From him, nag-expand yung mga other gurus. Kaya guru is one. But they don't merge. They have different individual personalities and characteristics. You serve out this guru, ito yung mood niya, the other gurus, ito yung mood niya. Yung mission, specific mission nila in different countries are different in other countries. So one could listen to other lectures of the other gurus, but one could not 100% apply it in this place or in the place that you are residing, because they would have some differences in details, just details, but the essence, the principles is one. Doon na papasok yung intelligence, doon na papasok yung association, doon na papasok yung advices ng mga senior devotees. And of course, specifically how to follow the guru, the spiritual master, how to serve them, we ask them, or we ask their senior disciples. So that is why Krishna consciousness, it's an art. Hindi siya yung step 1, it's to step 10, and you will follow 100%. There will be discrepancies, there will be differences. Again, the details will be different from each guru or the processes in each places, but the essence again is still one. So the realizations in the Vedas, the practice of devotional service, or the study ng scriptures should not be done whimsically or mag-isa ka lang. It should be with the guidance of a spiritual master, the devotees, coupled with services, doing devotional service. Other than that, one could be just a Gyani yoga or Gyani. Just studying and studying. Lagay mo na lang lagay mo sa utak mo. You put it all in your brain, but you haven't done any service. So the conclusion palagi of the Vedas and why we chant, for us to be able to serve. So sabi ni Srila Vyasadeva, Sila Vishvana Chakravarti Thakur, a Vaishnava, when he say that they should not be interested in hearing only about the Lord's activity like Rasa Lila, but must be keenly interested in His pastimes, in His features of the Purusha avatars. That's why it was being discussed here. Kasi bakit ganun? Sa 10th canto yung Rasa Lila, yung Rasa dance ni Krishna, bakit di na lang yung discuss natin araw-araw? No, even the acharyas, previous gurus, they're advising for us to be not just studying but also interested in other parts ng glories ni Krishna. One could only relish Krishna's sweetness if one knows His greatness. That's number 11. Sutta Goswami said, when Sukadev Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly, he spoke thus. So yes, any deliverance of any speeches, any attributes, they do not think independently, lagging by the scriptures, and always they glorify Krishna first and the teachers. We don't do things because we enjoy it, and we thought na tingin natin intelligence natin yun or yung senses natin nag-work. No? Actually, we don't even own our intelligence and our senses kasi hindi nga tayo yun. We're the soul riding in this chariot with horses, ropes, and the driver. So, this one, our senses, the purpose of the senses, the intelligence, is to be used and employed in the service of Krishna. Actually, no one is 100% independent. We have the free will, pero hindi ibig sabihin may free will tayo, we could do whatever we want. No. There's a lot of limitations. Mag-yoga ka nga lang, ang dami mo hindi kaya gawin. You do planking, di ba? Sa Turanga. Gawin mo 10 minutes. 20 minutes. It's very hard. So, we have very limited control, even on ourselves. So, one could not really be 100% independent. So, still, one should always seek permission kay Krishna in whatever we do. Even Sukadev Goswami, before answering yung question ni Maharaj Pariksit, he seeks permission in the humble mood. Also, whatever we do. Sabi niya, it was 2 nights ago, someone mentioned in the class of Sridham Prabhu, in the group work, in the question and answers. Yeah, before she does anything, she offered it to Krishna. That's a good way to remember Krishna. So grateful to the practice of gratitude. Text number 12. Sukadev Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances. So, unang ginawa niya, nag-offer siya ng obeisances unto the personality of Godhead who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the 3 modes of nature. He is complete, whole, residing within the body of everyone, and His ways are inconceivable. So, even si Krishna expanded Himself. Hindi siya nababawasan. 100% pa rin siya. How many times siya mag-expand? Unlimitedly. Pero He is a complete whole. So that is Krishna, Om Purnam Purnamidam. So Krishna is always complete. So even this material world is his creation. He also, sinabi dito, accepts the three modes of nature. That is the guna avatars. He expanded from Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Shiva, the maintainer, creator, saka destroyer. Also coming from Krishna. But Krishna is the original being. So si Vishnu, he enters in every body material created. And si Garbhodakashay Vishnu, he enters sa bawat universes. And si Chirodakashay Vishnu, he entered sa bawat individual soul. Kasama siya. So, unlimited talaga. You cannot even count. So, ang daming expansion ni Krishna. But he remained the complete whole. So, if you have your Sri Upanishad, it was being discussed there. How Krishna is the complete. Hindi siya nababawasan. Text number 13. I again offer my respectful obeisances under the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses, and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotee demons. For the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destination. So si Krishna, again, was being glorified by Sukadeva Goswami. Lord Shri Krishna is the complete form of all existence, both material and spiritual. So, a devotee, dito na yung magkakasukatan, sino yung mga intelligent, saka sino yung less intelligent. A devotee who is an intelligent person knows na si Krishna yung source of everything. So, he serves Krishna. He might not be that knowledgeable to other mundane things or industries, or he doesn't even finish school. But one could be considered as an intelligent person if he knows that Krishna is the source, he's applying it in his life. Form of intelligence is having the knowledge and applying it, not just knowing it. And we could not always consider those who are academically or certified or in that position to be really intelligent. Materially, they are, but spiritually, it's a different measurement. And the impious and the non-devotees are against the principle of the Vedas. So some, because of their pride, they always find ways just to be against Krishna, against the Vedas, even without really having enough reason. They just want to be contra, antagonists. There are people who will always be antagonists. The way they think will be always against, like Joker of Batman. whatever whatever happens, he just want to be the enemy of the protagonist. That's the nature of it. It was being described here. The non-devotee demons. Of course, if even demons could become devotees. Remember Hiranyakashipu, who was killed by Lord Nrsingadev? Yung anak niya, his son, is Prahlad Maharaj, also a demon. But he became a pure devotee. But also in the line of pure devotees, some of them will become demons. Some of them will become materialistic person. Krishna, some of his relatives are also demoniac. Like his uncle Kamsa. Tito niya yun. Also like considered as a demon. But like the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, also a demon, but as a great devotee of Krishna. He actually conquered the demigods, Bali Maharaj, but he became devotee of Krishna. So it is not automatic na you were born in this family, you will inherit everything. No? You you have the facility, but you still have to practice. You still have to beg for the mercy of a guru. So yes, Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa. So Krishna punishes and delivers those who are devotees and non-devotees or atheists. So here it was mentioned in the second paragraph, Paramahamsa. The Paramahamsa stage is the highest perfectional stage in spiritual value. Sa mga sannyasis, this is one part of the or the highest na part or stages ng pagiging sannyas. We have different Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrakacharya, Parivrajakacharya, and Paramahamsa. So we will discuss this in the future. I think we discussed already in the first canto, pero much more in detail here. Pero yung mga Paramahamsa, yung mga sannyasis, even those who are impersonalists, there are also some gurus there, sannyasis there. They're following the scriptures of Sankaracharya, but Sankaracharya is Shiva also. For the purpose, bakit niya ginawa yun? To bring back the people to start to believe in the Vedas. Because Buddha came to advise the people not to follow the Vedas. Then Sankaracharya advised after some decades or centuries. Then Sankaracharya started again to bring them back. Then Madhavacharya, Lord Chaitanya, fully advised people to follow the Vedas in the path of Bhakti Yoga. Yes, it was described here. Brahmanandis and Premanandis. Brahmanandis, they want to go to the Brahman. Brahmajyoti, the light of Krishna. And Premanandis is they want to love Krishna. They want to develop that love. So we are in this path, Premanandis. And we want to develop love for Krishna by the path of Bhakti Yoga. Because you cannot develop that by the path of impersonalism. Maybe you'll have peace of mind. Or you'll have an empty feeling because you meditate on nothingness for being an impersonalist. Text number 14. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto he who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty, and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. So in the transcendental manifestation, there are two sides. The pure devotees, who is always the constant companion nila si Krishna, lagi nila kasama, because they are pure devotees, always meditating on Krishna. And Krishna also always wants their association. And the impersonal na feature ni Krishna, yung features ni Krishna na yun is Brahmajyoti. It is also actually the rays, the aura, the effulgence of the spiritual world. Much more the Vaikuntha kasi yung pinakamalapit, and Krishna himself. Because this spiritual world doesn't need any electricity or sun or moon. Every thing and everyone is effulgent, maliwanag. So, those who are practicing Brahmanandis, they want to go to the light. Hanggang dun lang sila sa ilaw. They could not go further because they don't have the access. They're not personal to Krishna. They're not allowed to go inside. And that's also their desire, to be on the light only. Again, that is not yet the spiritual world, because they still have to go back sa material world. Specifically, being a human being. Everyone will be, again, a human in one point of their traveling in different species of life. So that is very rare. So yes, this spiritual world is so effulgent Pero there's a dark shadow, may darkness part doon na hindi na masyadong sinagan. That is the material world. Kaya pag wala yung sun, madilim sa atin. Because that is the nature of it. Yes. They want yung mga, what do you call this? Meditator, impersonators, they always want the Brahmajuti. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahmajuti cannot know the personal transcendence. So they will never, until they come to the point where they realize and they meditated from to Krishna from within. So these impersonalists, the next stage nila is to meditate Krishna from within because they feel empty, they don't want it anymore. So they, by the mercy of also other devotees, they will meditate to Krishna, pero within pa lang. That is the part of Ashtanga Yoga. That's the end part of the Samadhi. And after that, they will go to the path of Bhakti in serving, having association of devotees in remembrance. So there's a prayer. It was mentioned here in the prayer, the last paragraph in text 14. Oh Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service or Bhakti Yoga is the actual principle of religion, Satya Dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. By showing your real face, rather. Please therefore remove the veil of your Brahmajuti rays, so that I can see your form, or of eternal bliss and knowledge. So a devotee is always praying that he may see Krishna face to face, his real face, his personal features. And he is praying for the veil of Maya to be removed. Text number 15. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effect of all sins of the performer. So Krishna is the purifying agent. He is the all pure, Pavitram. He's always pure, he's all pure, and he's the cleansing agent. So when one chants his name, one will be cleansed as well. So we want to be free from all these unwanted baggages. So we could focus on Krishna. But there's a process. You don't have to right away, shave your head. So there's a process and different paths for different devotees. We must know definitely that the Lord is present wherever such pure transcendental service is performed, and thus the performer of offenseless Kirtanam has positive association with the Lord. So if one is chanting Krishna's name without offense, that is what we're discussing in our Monday sessions, 10 offenses to the holy name. If one is chanting without those offenses, automatically Krishna is present. So one should not concoct forms of devotional service because we must be in the guidance of a spiritual master, spiritual expert guidance. So even our realizations, we must be in the right path. The mind is so tricky. Minsan, I realize this. We're all one. We're all powerful. We're all small God. We're God. So we must always seek guidance. So we have to be very careful in executing devotional service, much more careful in committing offenses. That is why etiquette, Vaishnav etiquette is very important. That is for us to be able to move gracefully in the path of devotional service. Because you know what kind of movement you need not to act also. The speeches, the treatment, the mood should be there. So that's Vaishnava etiquette to prevent us from um, committing such offenses. Text number 16. Again, si Sukadev Goswami is still paying his obeisances. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and future existences, and without difficulty progress toward spiritual existence. So he is surrendering, offering his obeisances. And because of just simply surrendering to Krishna, he will be relieved from all attachments. So if you want to be detached and mawala yung mga attachment natin, one should offer obeisances kay Krishna. You bow down to Krishna and surrender to Krishna. My dear Arjuna, Krishna mentioned this, you are very dear to me, and therefore, only for your goodwill I will disclose the most secret part of my instruction. So this is Krishna saying. So ang sabi ni Krishna, become pure devotee of mine, and I will deliver you from all sinful reaction, removing all that past unwanted baggages natin and attachment. And do not fear. Do not worry. So the process of Krishna consciousness, you have to leave your fear. If of course one doesn't have faith yet, one should develop that faith by studying, association and all. And if one is on that path, even starting on that progress, you can live your life without fear. Matsutsaha. Persons who are intelligent take serious notice of this last instruction of the Lord. This is on the 18.66 sa Bhagavad Gita. Also, the knowledge of the self, knowing who we really are, is the first step in the teaching also of the spiritual master. So that's the first step in spiritual realization. That is why in the chapter 2 chapter 2 in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna discussed to Arjuna who he really was, who we really are. We are the soul and we are not the body. So that is considered as confidential knowledge. You have the the more confidential, and we have the most confidential. So yes, if one follows this path, one could go to the Brahmagati or Brahmabhuta, a perfectional stage in one human form of life. Almost God, because he has 78% perfected, like Brahma, or in a Brahman stage. But one could not go further and become God. But of course, in that process, one could perform Bhakti Yoga in much more pure state. So yes, Bhakti Yoga is the highest quality of perfection to be achieved by the intelligent person in lieu of performing a large quantity of spiritual activities. So Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. It was mentioned in the Bhagavatam 10:14.4. So the practice of spiritual life is not just jugglery of karma kanda or jnana kanda or the gymnast performed by yoga. So hindi yun yung practice or highest perfection ng spiritual life. But one should skillfully do some devotional service, serve the Guru, and kirtanam, smaranam, hearing and chanting of Krishna's name. Text number 17. So yes, let me offer my respectful obeisances to the auspicious Lord Shri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful results without dedication of such great qualities to the service of the Lord. So even if one is in this position, Great philosopher ka, great mystic, great performer of charity, great worker. Still, these are material activities. Ano yung sikreto para mapunta ka doon sa devotion service is dovetailing all of this. So, hindi ibig sabihin we are donating, we are doing philanthropic activities, we are kind to people. Hindi ibig sabihin ng spiritual. We are just human. But for those activities to be spiritual, one should dovetail it in the service of Krishna. So one could offer everything to Krishna. The charity, being a philanthropic person, being a yogi, one should offer that or dovetail that to Krishna consciousness. So that's the big difference. Because the other activities, it is just like animalistic life. Economic development, religiosity, sense gratification, same. May selfish, may selfish part na gumagawa ng mga charity. They do it because they feel the pleasure. Or minsan may pride because they're doing it. So same, it is still material activity. Maybe good material activity because you will receive good karma. But Sri Prabhupada mentioned here, without dovetailing these things to Krishna, it is still troublesome. You will inquire good karma. So stay ka pa rin dito sa material world. You have to harvest them one way or the other in the future. So Sri Prabhupada coined here that there's a perfect example, like two thieves. One thief is could steal a lot of money, but his intention is to give it back to the poor people. And another thief is just stealing for himself. Still, in the human law, these are considered as a crime. So yes, we could think, mas mabait, the thief who does this for other people is much more greater than the other thief. Maybe we should spare him. What if you're the one who were the victim of this thief, Robin Hood thief? You cannot always say that if you're the victim. So still, both of them are thieves. So one could live his life in this human form of life, doing things for others or doing it for their sense gratification. They are both thieves. Because all the facilities here should be offered to Krishna because Krishna owns this. If one is thinking, I should enjoy this on my own, one is a thief. Just like Ravana. Ravana wanted to enjoy Sita. Sita is also goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. He wanted to enjoy Sita without Ram. So he kidnapped Sita, Mother Sita. So that is the common people. They want to enjoy money without Krishna. They want to enjoy the facilities without Krishna. Dhiridan chooses the energy of Krishna without Krishna to enjoy them. But if one dovetails the services and the facilities, the money, the energy, the time, the skill set, one should dovetail it to Krishna consciousness. Just like Hanuman. Hanuman wanted to bring Sita back to Ram. So we want to bring back everything, offer it to Krishna. Just like the food. Krishna is always all satisfied. Mas marami siyang servant in the spiritual world that could cook way better than us. But we are advised to offer him something because he gets the love and devotion. It's for our benefit. We also donate to saintly person. We also donate to temple, not for them to get benefit. It is for us. If we use that money in the service of Krishna, we get benefited. Our work will be spiritual work. The one who produces money, the work that produces your money, will become spiritual because portion of it you're serving Krishna. So that is the difference. But if one does it in good and bad, same thing, it is karmic activity. And to become God conscious one has to hear about the all auspicious Lord as he is described in literature like the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So we need to have expert leaders and guides for us to be always be God conscious, Krishna conscious by constantly hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. We are at the text number 18. Kirata, Huna, Andra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abira, Sumba, Yavana, members of the Kasha races, and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotee of the Lord. Due to his being the supreme power, I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sukadeva Goswami still offer his obeisances and also mention different personalities in different races and dynasties. That even them and all those who are addicted to sense gratification and demoniac and atheistic, they could still have the mercy of Krishna and become devotee of Krishna if they had an association with the pure devotee of Krishna. So, may chances. Hindi ibig sabihin one is in a place where less Krishna consciousness is there, one would not have a chance. What are the odds kung di pumunta si Sri Prabhupada sa West? Ano na lang yung meron sa Pilipinas? We are just caught up in this web, a cycle, di ba? Krishna, that's why the books of Sri Prabhupada saves us. Kirata is a province in India, Bharatbarsha. Bharatbarsha is the whole earth. Before, it was a one whole earth. So, itong mga provinces, other places, na binanggit ni Sukadeva Goswami. But not that in high position and high class. So, even those person living in these places, in these provinces, are given equal chance to become devotees. So, yes, sa Mahabharat, it was described. So, binanggit dito sa purport kung saan nanggaling and saan matatrace sa scriptures. Sila yung mga aboriginal tribes of India. So, alam natin yung mga aborigines, mostly they are barbaric, they eat animals, they kill other tribes. So, yung Huna is what we call now the East Germany and part of Russia. So, it's also a province. So, yung mga tribe na to, mga Hunas, sila yung mga naging German, tinawag na German ngayon, saka Russia. Yung Andhra is also a province, same name daw to hanggang ngayon. Pulinda, ito interesting to. Pulinda, mentioned in the Mahabharat, they are yung place na to, habang gumagawa ng Rajasuya sacrifice, kapag yung emperor wanted to take a position or reassure that he is the emperor, may sacrificial horse that will roam around the world. I forgot ilang years mangyayari. Then, the other kings in other places will offer their gifts in agreement na this person, this king, or this emperor remains the emperor. If they are against, they will fight. So, si Yudhishthir ginawa yung a couple of times and yung mga kapatid niya also went around. So, they conquered other places. So, this is for the sake of Dharma or spiritual leadership, spiritual ruling. Ginawa to later on ng mga ibang kings, pero just for colonizing. So, ginawa rin to ng mga, of course, Spaniards, Japanese, the Germans, not for religious activity. So, what they're doing before, it is religious. Dharmic. So, it was, the Pulinda was also before conquered by Bhimasena and Sahadev. These are the Greeks. Dito galing yung Greece. They are actually Kshatriya kings. Before, a lot of Kshatriyas, soldiers around the place, different places in the world. But they became so degraded. They already performed yung mga abominable acts, not so in line with being a Kshatriya. They abuse others as well. So si Krishna have to put this activity on stop. So he incarnated himself as Parusharam. Si Parashuram is the killer of these Satriyas. 21 generation ng mga Satriya he killed. Pinugutan niya na ulo. Because they are destroying, they are abusing others. They're using the Kshatriya order lang. So yung mga Greeks, kasama sila. There is also the Abira. This is the other side of the Arabian Sea. And of course, to mga to minsan sa scriptures, it was described sa mga acharyas na, uy, this mga lahi or clan or dynasty will rule over the world. Nangyayari yon. So, nangyayari ng ilang beses. So, the Abiras, sila yung mga Muhammad Gori. Sila yung mga nasa Muslim order. Yung Pulindas, yung kanina, sila yung mga Greek. So, sila rin yung kasama si Alexander the Great. Yung sinakop niya India, he saw they are advanced more than the Greeks. Of course, doon galing yung lahi nila. So, he created the Greek mythologies. So yes, paano sila naging fall down ng mga Kshatriya? They removed themselves from the Brahminical culture, from the process of Krishna consciousness. They just want to be just alone, gratifying their senses. So yes, these Kshatriyas are afraid of Parasuram, the incarnation of Krishna. That's why they fled in different places. Kaya yung mga Greece doon napunta. They fled because pinapatay ni Krishna lahat ng soldier na yun as Lord Parasuram. So andyan yung mga Sumbas and Kankas. So sila yung mga nasa Old Bharat din. Yavanas. Yavanas is nasa lahi ni Krishna to. Mga lolo't lolo niya. Sila yung sa lahi ni Maharishi Yati. Maaralan natin si Maharishi Yati sa Canto 9. And these Yavanas are the one who is living in Turkey. Mga Yavanas pala sila. Of course, Yavanas din, sabi na predict nila, they will conquer. So, nagyari yan. So, yung mga part din ng mga Western Yavanas, sila rin nag-join kay Duryodhan sa Battle of Kurukshetra. Yan. So, interesting. Kasa. So, sila yung mga inhabitants sa Kasadesh. Sila yung mga Mongols and Chinese. So, kasama sa history, nakikita natin. So, these above mentioned ng mga different people and different dynasties and all are engaged in sinful acts. Paano nasabi yun? Because they are not Krishna conscious. They don't follow the ways of life in the Vedas. And some other places, it was mentioned by Srila Prabhupada here, like Jesus Christ and Muhammad are two powerful devotees of the Lord. The Son and the Prophet, di ba? And they done tremendous service on behalf of the Lord in the surface of the globe. So they spread these godly qualities then. And some of it is part ng confidential knowledge that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. And also, of course, the leadership affairs entrusted, ang gusto ni Krishna, yung leadership sa buong mundo will be entrusted sa mga devotees. Kaya yung, like, the ISKCON is doing that. They're not interested to become a politician. They are like interested in advising these leaders, because if we have spiritual leaders in the position, the world will be at least a better place than what we have now. Even we are in the midst of Kali Yuga. In that way, when the devotees are sharing this consciousness to others, change of heart will be there. A revolution, spiritual revolution. So yes, the devotees are interested in seeing that people in general are not misguided by political propaganda. So that's why devotees, you can see, are working hard to spread Krishna to others. Because it's a pain for them, a painful experience for them to see sufferings of others because of misleading. So yes, there is no bar against anyone advancing in matter of God realization. So even this kind of dynasty, pinanganak tayo doon, pinanganak tayo dito, and we have a woman body, man's body, there is no bar in becoming a devotee of Krishna. That is the emphasis of the teaching of Lord Chaitanya. Even those who are in a low-class family, born in a low-class family, they could be pure devotees. Just follow the principles, follow the process. And those who are born in the high-class family doesn't mean he is a devotee. Ano yung way? The only qualification is one should take shelter to the pure devotee of Krishna. Have a spiritual master, genuine spiritual master. That's the only way. So yes, that's a practice of Vaishnavism. A Vaishnava never accepts another Vaishnava on the basis of birthright. Hindi siya birthright lang. So yes, we are advised, and sabi dito, one should not consider the deity of the Lord as worshipped in the temple to be an idol, nor should one consider the authorized spiritual master as an ordinary man, nor should one consider a pure Vaishnava to belong in a particular caste. No? So we cannot be, that's why the ISKCON, the devotees, are the people who will never be racist. Because we don't see this body as ourselves. So you could see as also the mga spiritual master natin. Also in ISKCON, the disciple of Sri Prabhupada na sannyasi devote, guru na ngayon, and others who are in the disciple of Sri Prabhupada na sannyasi ngayon. They're working very hard, traveling intensively to save other souls in different places. What can we do to help them? Us be a good devotee and try to assist the gurus in different forms. Some donates, some serve, diba? Some personally serve them, in other different ways. Because that's the only way how to save this world. Spread Krishna to others. Other than that, it is just material realm. He is the eternal servant of the Lord who maintains the damsel of Vrindavan, Lord Krishna. And that is the way of realization. So these devotees, and of course Lord Chaitanya, who incarnated in the garb of a devotee, teaches us how to serve the servant of Krishna. So these are our study. We discussed text 10 to 18. So tomorrow we will start text 19 on the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the section where, before answering, Sukadeva answers the question of Maharaj Pariksit, he first offers obeisances to Krishna, because he knows, even he is an intelligent person, he knows that his intelligence is coming from Krishna as well. So thank you very much, my dear ones. We should always be in the right mood in our activities in Krishna consciousness, just like Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Pariksit and Saunaka Rishi in inquiring, and as well as always remembering Krishna in the right mood. And the path of it is serving the Guru, inquiring from the Guru, and serving the devotees. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Shantri Radha Mataji, Jonah Mataji, Carla, Makshama Lakshmi Mataji, Rasarani, Oliver Prabhu, Rodel Prabhu, Rolly, Sergey, Riza, and those who are watching sa ating Facebook Live. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow will be jam-packed sessions again. Japa, we have the Srimad Bhagavatam, class by Guru Maharaj. We have the overview of the Bhagavad Gita in the morning. So spiritual recharge tayo bukas. Hare Krishna. Good morning. And please finish your rounds today.